Hey there, tech heads. Dalton and Cloud here. So as you may have noticed, we've been getting more content on here, like I previously stated, mainly for those who are trying to build their own identity, their own brand, live stream, different things of that nature. We're gonna have more content like this coming out. It's gonna be airing every Wednesday as of right now. So tech and certification content, as well as career content, is still going to be on Saturday. And then we're just going to have additional content starting on Wednesday and maybe even more content rolling out after that. But that will be later on down the line in a few more months. Right now, it's just going to be the two. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you've liked it so far. But in today's video, we're going to get back to the basics with a certification. This time, we're hopping out of the realm of associate level certifications and we're going into professional level certifications and the resources you need for that. This particular certification, I do recommend. It's going to be in AWS realm, but I do recommend you get all three of the previous associate level certifications, or at least the Solutions Architect Associate, as well as the SysOps Associate before you attempt this one, just so you really cement your understanding of the different subjects and domains for this next exam. But before we get into today's certification resources and what you'll need to pass this exam, if you could go ahead, please hit the subscribe button and then tap that notification bell. It helps out the YouTube algorithm so we could get more people to watch this video, get this video in front of more people so we could get more people certified. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. All right, so the first area we're going to go to is going to be Udemy. So we love Udemy. Yay. So the first certification pathway or proctor we're going to go to is going to be Stephen Merrick. So Stephen actually helped me with my Solutions Architect Associate, as well as ACG. I actually used both resources and they were very helpful in getting me certified for the Solutions Architect Associate. I have studied with ACG for the professional. I've not actually taken the professional yet, but I have not actually used Stephen Merrick's Solutions Architect Professional course. However, as you could tell, he has it last updated this month, and we're only a few days into this month, so that's great. You can get it through the Udemy subscription for the personal plan. So you could get 7 days free and then it's $30 a month after that. If you are doing a couple certifications and there are a lot of proctors or instructors you like on Udemy, I would suggest going for this, especially if you're just going to continue learning, because they have more than just certification based. You could also get a lot of coding experience, lab testing, practice tests, a lot of different resources through this subscription. It's a really big wheelhouse of different content you could get for that. And then also you could buy the course outright. As soon as the page wants to refresh, we'll kind of refresh it here ourselves. It's not working. Oh, but it's going to be $19.99 if you buy it outright. So in Stephen's course, you're going to get 13 hours of on-demand content, 1 downloadable resource, 3 articles, and then certificate of completion, which is fine, but that's not going to be our actual certificate for passing the exam. So next up, we're actually going to go back to another one of Stephen's other resources. He used this with Abhishek Singh. So Abhishek and Stephen both curated this. This is going to be Stephen's practice exam for the Solutions Architect Professional. This is also going to be in the personal plan for the Udemy Pro personal subscription. This is going to include 2 practice exams or 2 practice tests. So each one of those, well, the first one is actually going to be an assessment. It's not really a practice test. The second one is going to be a practice test with the 75 questions. So this is just going to be essentially what you would see on the main website for the Solutions Architect Professional, and then this is going to be your actual what you would practice and work up to. As far as certification study practice exams, I would actually go with John Bonso. We see him here. So unlike Steven's practice exam, where you get the one and it's going to be $18, this is going to be $15, and you're not going to get one, two, three, but four different practice exams, each with 75 questions each. Now, he goes really in depth and detail on why a exam answer is the way it is. He will cite resources, anything you need, white papers to understand where you could make sure you understand this knowledge. But if you're trying to get the best deal you can, and this isn't going to be the only cloud certification you're going for, I would highly suggest you go to his website, John Bonso. And as you can see here, he has deals daily, just like on Udemy. So if you do need practice exam material, I would highly suggest you go here and pick up your resources here. Next up, we have Neil Davis. So Neil Davis, his certification, I've not actually used Neil Davis except for study prep, and this was after I've already taken the certification. I did use a little bit actually for one of my previous AWS certs. But I don't believe I actually took the exam for that one. But anyway, Neil Davis, again, personal plan. So as I said, if you're trying to get multiple different areas and levels of certification training, I highly suggest you go to Udemy, get this bundle for $30 a month, 7 days free. It's going to be worth it in the end if you're wanting to pass, because just studying from one resource is not going to help you pass. I can almost guarantee it. But with this, you're going to have multiple different levels of resources that you could access. Personal plan, and this is the only one you'll have to pay for, and personal plan. So I highly, highly suggest that. Otherwise, it's going to be $15. He last updated it in September last month. You're in this particular course, you're going to get 19.5 hours of on-demand content, one practice exam, and 2 articles, reference articles. All right. So next up we have the So next up we have the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Professional. Excuse me. And this is on a cloud guru. So I personally love ACG. If you are going for any sort of cloud or administrator Linux type of role or job, then I highly suggest you get a subscription for them now or yesterday, in fact. So in this particular course, it's going to be taught by Scott Pletcher. So this is going to be 12 hours of content, 139 lessons, 13 hands-on labs, 8 course quizzes, and 1 practice exam. This is an amazing resource here, but overall in general, they have amazing resources. And for some reason, my click is not working, my left click. So we're going to go over here to the pricing. So their pricing is actually very reasonably priced, I believe. As you can tell here, the yearly pricing, it's going to be save you a lot more money in the long run. I would try starting out free and just get an idea for their content. Make sure you enjoy their instructors, because if you don't enjoy the way the person is teaching or anyone is teaching, then you're not really going to get the most bang for your buck. So personal plan, $349 per year. It's going to save you $72, or personal plus is going to be $486 per year, which is going to save you $96. So what does this get you that the other one doesn't? This actually gets you access to the different cloud vendor sandboxes, which means if you go to spin up a lab or resource, then you could do it in a virtualized environment through their website, and you're not actually going to pay in case you forget to turn off a resource or something such as that. So I personally have the Personal Plus. I love it. I didn't pay for this price. I had a legacy price from a sale they had at one point on Linux Academy. I actually started on Linux Academy, but I did get migrated over. They do have sales quite often, which are very helpful. Uh, I would check back on Black Friday if you want to wait. This isn't something you're pursuing right now or not a resource you need right now. I would definitely check that out. But I highly suggest you go with one of these. I just love their platform in general. They don't do any sponsorship or affiliate, none that I'm aware of. So, but other than that, I do love their content. I'm not a salesperson. I don't get paid to tell people I love them. I want people to succeed, and I think with ACG you can. Next up is going to be Simply Learn. So, Simply Learn, they do have a lot of different people voting them, but at the end of the day, this is going to be a boot camp. This would be the same as if you went to a boot camp in your hometown, uh, except it's going to be online. And then you could pay as low as $136 a month or $14.99 for the actual boot camp for this. Now, this is going to help you get certified. I could almost guarantee they will make sure you get certified. Will you understand the knowledge and like understand any of that? I don't believe so. Most boot camps are designed that way to make sure you understand the knowledge, not necessarily to where you could and you could pass the exam, not necessarily. So it's designed to help you retain the information. Other than that, this is 6 courses for all that. So Solutions Architect, Azure Fundamentals. Um, but I believe this is actually only going to be for the Cloud Architect Professional. So this won't actually include all the other information in the syllabus. But I mean, if it did, that's not terrible getting all those other certification training, but it usually doesn't. It usually will only include the one. I like Simply Learn to an extent. I've heard a lot of good things about people's pass rate, and we'll leave it at that. So if you're just someone who wants a guaranteed pass and you need it for a certain job output that you need, then go ahead and pay the $1,500 and be done with it, because they will make sure that you pass your exam. Next up is Cloud Academy. So Cloud Academy is newer. They've been growing quite a bit. I've still, they're still a little too new to have too much. I have seen people talk about this for other certifications, and I've seen one person talk about this as a resource for the professional certification. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Uh, you're gonna get 15 or 55 reference videos. Over here, it just talks about the domain complexity. We're going to talk about the domain at the end of the video. So this has 43 videos, 19 hands-on labs, 2 ebooks, and a final prep exam. So this course that they have here for this is actually going to be basically similar to what we saw in Simply Learn. It's kind of like a boot camp. And then here we just have our different prices for an individual. You could start out free, so you could get an idea of how their content is laid out, how their instructors teach, just get an idea of how you enjoy the content. Over here, we have the monthly plan, which is going to be $39 a month, or it's going to be $35 a year if you pay annually, which is going to be $400 for 1 year. So it's not terribly unreasonably priced, but as I said, they're still newer. So as far as references in as far as my hands-on experience with them, I can't give you a personal opinion on them. Just from what I've gathered online, that they're okay. Um, but as I always say, try out if someone has a free version of something, try it out, see how you enjoy it, and go from there. Next up is Learning Tree. Again, like Simply Learn, this is going to be a boot camp. This is not for anything but this exam. This is just going to be for the professional level certification training. And this is going to be a 3-day instructor-led course. And this is going to be paid either $2,025 for a standard rate or a government rate of $1,670. So I don't feel great about boot camps. And then here are the different, either online or different locations you could take this boot camp. I don't prefer these boot camps because I feel like most of the time they're just going to get you certified. They will get you certified most of the time, but they're just there to get you certified. They're not actually there to make sure you understand the information. So again, take that with what you will. And last is going to be Cantrillo or Cantrill.io. So Cantrill, he was and this gentleman, we'll go to his homepage here in a minute, but he was an instructor for Adrian Cantrill. So he was an instructor for Linux Academy for a long time, teaching their solutions architect pathways and just the AWS exams in general. So he actually, since he's left there, he has his own website and he teaches individually. So he has this course for $80, and then he has bundles. Let's see if we could find that's his Slack. Let's see if we could find his bundles. Okay, and you could pay with Bitcoin. So $80 for the professional. If you're trying to get all five or all five of the AWS professional and associate level certifications, it's going to run you $190. If you're just getting all the associate level, it's going to be $90. And then if you're just getting the professional, it's going to be, oh, this is the upgrade. Let's see. They do have a professional bundle. No, there's the associate bundle. That's going to be $90. I guess they don't actually have a professional bundle, which is shocking to me. But anyway, these prices are not terrible. These are really amazing. Oh, that's because the DevOps professional is still in development. Overall, it's going to be amazing price. You could pay with cash, you could pay with Bitcoin. Cantrill does an amazing job with his certification resources, his documents. A lot of you who may have taken CompTIA certifications before and are familiar with Professor Messer, he does a similar job with his infographics as far as how detailed his like little cards are for infographics. So if that's kind of a way that you're used to studying, I highly suggest you give him a shot, go through this, really dig in deep into his different certification study methods. I have not used him, but I have not seen one bad rapport with him, and I've seen hundreds of testimonials of people who have passed all the AWS certifications using his resources. So Adrian, and I actually have used his course when it was on Linux Academy for the Solutions Architect Associate, not the professional. Keep that in mind. But he did an amazing job teaching for his exam. Here we do have hundreds of videos of just different every individual section, and then we have hands-on lab and demonstrations, and then I believe he does include one test at the end. We're just going to scroll down. So okay, so we actually have a couple practice exams from him. We actually have two, and it's multi-part practice exams. So we have exam 1 and then exam 2. And then just what to do next, like every other exam that we have out there. But Adrian is another amazing resource, just like ACG, just like Udemy, just like all the other resources I listed on here. All right, and last up, I'm just going to pull up the resources. All right, so this is just giving you an overview of the Solutions Architect Professional. It's going to be 180 minutes for you to complete this exam. It's going to cost you $300. However, if you still have your practice vouchers from your previous exams, it's actually going to cost you $150, which is great. I love that they do that. This is going to be 75 either multiple choice or multiple response questions. You could take this through Pearson VUE or PSI, online or in person. And then we have an exam guide here. And then they also had their own reference questions, example questions you could go through. And then at the end, you could go through and see the answers and see why those answers are the way they are. So remember, as I said before at the beginning of this video, you want to make sure you understand this content. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. So you want to make sure you at least study and pass the Solutions Architect Associate and the SysOps Associate. Those are going to be the two exams you want to pass before you even attempt this. I actually suggest all three, but take it with a grain of salt. So the exam content is going to be the response type, multiple choice. Let's actually get to the domains and how much each one is worth. So domain 1 is going to be designed for organizational complexity, which is going to be 12.5% of the exam. Design for new solutions is going to be domain 2, which is going to be 31%. That's going to be a big bulk of it. Migration planning. This is going to be 15% of the exam. This is going to be for domain 3. Domain 4 is cost control, which is going to be 12.5%. And then domain 5, which is going to be another big chunk, is going to be continuous improvement, which is going to be 29% of the exam. And then when you go to this link, I will have it in the video description. You kind of get just a little deeper insight into each domain, what each subpart is for. 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, and so on. So this just gives you really depth insight on each objective domain you need to fully understand so you could pass that domain overall. And then these are just key tools and technologies that you may be covered under the exam: compute, cost management, database, disaster recovery, high availability. If you've taken a Solutions Architect Associate before, a lot of these subjects aren't going to be unfamiliar to you. It's just you're going to need to be a little bit more granular than you were on any other exam. You're going to need to know a lot more detail when you go into this. And when you take the practice exam or even look at these practice questions that they have listed, you'll understand that and understand what I mean by that. Other than that, this is going to be what's going to help you pass the Solutions Architect Associate Professional. Solutions Architect Associate Professional. But overall, this is going to be the resources that are going to help you pass the Solutions Architect Professional, the SAP C01. I hope you found that helpful, and I hope you pass this exam if you are studying to pass this. Other than that, I appreciate you for sticking around, and I will see you in the next video.